On World News Tonight this Thursday, Russian planes over the Atlantic and Russian troops in Kosovo. What is Moscow trying to prove? Thousands more Medicare patients dropped by their managed care providers. The company says the elderly are too expensive. Trying to save a national treasure, undoing the work of man. We'll take a closer look. We'll also test some conventional wisdom about your car. It has to do with air conditioning.
From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Tonight with Peter Jennings.
Good evening. The Clinton administration doesn't want to alarm anyone, but it's a little nervous about Russia, and the U.S. would like to be a lot better informed about who is making decisions in Moscow. First, there was Kosovo, where the Russian army seemed eager to lay down a marker, and now there are 4 long-range Russian bombers cruising around on the edge of NATO countries in northern Europe, technically within military range of the United States. Yes, Washington is just a little nervous, which is why we begin tonight at the Pentagon with ABC's John McWethy.
For days, the Russian military conducted its biggest exercises in a decade, billed as a demonstration that Moscow could still repel an attack from the West. Then last Friday, an unannounced part of the exercise, 2 Bear bombers, old propeller-driven planes that were once the pride of the Soviet Air Force, lumbered across the North Atlantic toward NATO ally Iceland. 50 miles off the coast, they were intercepted by U.S. fighter jets and turned back. 2 other Russian bombers flew down the coast of Norway, another NATO ally, but turned back when pursued by Norwegian jets. Though capable of carrying long-range nuclear missiles, there were no indications the bombers were even armed, and Defense Secretary Cohen today downplayed the incident.
We have anticipated they would be conducting an exercise, and it does not come as a major surprise.
But it was the second unexpected challenge to NATO in 2 weeks. The last one was in Kosovo, when Russian troops surprised everyone by seizing the Pristina airport ahead of NATO. Today, Wesley Clark, NATO's top general, said he was concerned about what he called Russia's new appetite for risk-taking.
I think it's unusual behavior in the sense that we hadn't seen this type of behavior in the previous 3 years we've worked together in Bosnia. They've been very predictable, very stable, very steady.
Not anymore. The failing health of Russian President Boris Yeltsin and his apparent lack of control of his military may be contributing.
It allows the military to be more aggressive and to be more assertive. They did it in Pristina. They did it again with these flights, and I suspect we're going to see more of this kind of behavior in the near future.
Russia is but a shadow of what it once was militarily, and all the challenges and surprises in recent weeks seem to be part of a simple demand, that NATO and the U.S. treat Russia like the great power it no longer is. Peter?
Thank you, John. John McWethy at the Pentagon today. On the subject of uncertainty, it is becoming clear today that suspected serial killer Rafael Resendez Ramirez, who was on the FBI's most wanted list, is not the average drifter. Investigators say Ramirez is articulate, self-confident, and highly resourceful. He's been tied already to at least 8 murders, and today we heard Ramirez's voice for the first time on tape in a courtroom. Here's ABC's Mike Von Frem.
10 years ago, inside this St. Louis courthouse, defendant Rafael Resendez Ramirez was representing himself and flattering the jury.
I won't ask you to find me not guilty or guilty. That's up to you. I consider myself very unworthy of you.
The charges were illegally entering the U.S., possession of a firearm, and fraudulently applying for a Social Security card. It was the 9th time Ramirez had been arrested in the U.S., and the prosecutor warned it was not enough just to send him back to Mexico.
He was found in the United States. Indeed, we'd ship him back if we thought he'd stay there, but history shows that he won't.
Ramirez mounted a long and rambling defense.
I won't lie to you. I won't try to play with your mind. But there's many things that I don't know myself. Can I tell you who really I am? With all the secrecy that's in the family? I probably couldn't tell you who I think I am. As far as I know, I'm just a human being, and I will leave it up to you.
Ramirez was convicted and served 18 months before he was deported to Mexico. In the 9 years since, he has crossed back and forth, been arrested and deported at least 12 more times. At Ramirez's home in Rodeo, Mexico this week, investigators are comparing jewelry they have found with items reported stolen from the murder scenes. And in Hughes Springs, Texas, a possible ninth victim, 83-year-old Leffie Mason. She had lived just 50 yards from the railroad tracks and was bludgeoned to death last October.
I feel very confident that it is the same guy.
But tonight, authorities appear no closer to catching him. Mike Von Fremd, ABC News, Dallas.
On the money tonight, part two of the fight over the $1 trillion budget surplus. Republicans in the House of Representatives were high on beating a drum today for tax cuts. They want to use the projected surplus over the next 10 years for a $1 trillion across-the-board tax cut. If there is such a big surplus, they say, people are clearly paying too much in taxes. On Wall Street today, the Dow Jones Industrial Average was up more than 95 points to close at 11,066. On the NASDAQ, stocks were up 20 points, closing at 2706, and that is a record high. Some important health maintenance organizations said today they're cutting coverage for 250,000 Medicare patients. The HMOs say that Medicare does not pay them enough. The government says nonsense, and of course the Medicare patients are caught in the middle. Here's ABC's Linda Douglas.
It was a financial decision that had to be made.
Sentara Healthcare in Norfolk, Virginia has been breaking the bad news to its 14,000 Medicare patients. Starting next year, the HMO will no longer cover them. Many, like Orville Hammond, are shaken.
I was worried, yeah, and I'm still worried about what do I do now. You know, here I am 75 years old and no place to go.
Last year, HMOs dropped 400,000 Medicare patients. Today's announcement of another 250,000 will leave more seniors scrambling for coverage.
We believe this is happening because Washington is inadequately funding the plans, and the impact on beneficiaries is devastating.
For years, the government has encouraged Medicare patients to enroll in HMOs, hoping to cut costs for patients and taxpayers. HMOs like Sentara tried to offer low-cost health care with generous benefits, but they say the government's reimbursement did not cover their costs.
In losing $6 to $9 million on 14,000 members, we just can't sustain that. We'll be out of business.
Next year, most of the HMOs that stay with Medicare will raise premiums or cut benefits, but some in Congress scoff at the industry's complaints.
They're not making any money because their management probably isn't any good. So they're coming to the government to bail them out.
The managed care industry says Congress had better listen to its complaints because HMOs are popular with seniors, and Congress takes seniors seriously, especially when there's an election coming up. Linda Douglas, ABC News, Capitol Hill.
When we come back, restoring what man has ruined in the Everglades and demolishing a dam in Maine. Bring back the fish.
This is World News Tonight with Peter Jennings, brought to you by Maalox.
You won't believe your mouth with this antacid.
That's amazing.
Dissolved almost immediately.
Like, it's gone.
Introducing Maalox Quick Dissolve Chewables, a whole new kind of calcium antacid for heartburn.
It dissolves quickly when you put it in your mouth. Very quick.
New Maalox Quick Dissolve Chewables dissolve faster and more completely than Tums.
Didn't have to dig it out of my teeth. No grit. Gone.
New Maalox Quick Dissolve Chewable Tablets. Quick dissolve your heartburn away.
Quick dissolve. Maalox.
From 1 Minute Maalox.
My dentures always fit fine. I never thought of them as a problem until I saw the video of my son's wedding. It was then that I decided to try Fixodent.
Because Fixodent adjusts to the unique contours of your dentures and gums, forming a thin, powerful seal for a better hold than you ever thought possible.
It was like a whole new feeling, so snug and secure. For once, I actually forgot that I even wore dentures. So now, I like what I see.
Find out for yourself what it feels like to Fixodent and forget it.
I should have used Preparation H. Cool it fast. Introducing Preparation H Cooling Gel. Cools on contact for fast relief. New Preparation H Cooling Gel. Cools on contact.
We're going to take a closer look tonight at two examples of man trying to undo the work of man. The Clinton administration, in the person of Vice President Gore, has unveiled a hugely ambitious plan to restore the Florida Everglades and the ecosystem which once thrived there. The White House wants to commit $7.8 billion over the next 20 years to restore what man has destroyed in the last 50 years. It is what someone accurately called a giant replumbing project. First, here's ABC's Bill Blakemore.
Florida's magnificent river of grass used to curve and weave 125 miles down to the sea. Originally, one continuous flow of water from Orlando down through Lake Okeechobee and on into the Everglades, filtered through a series of rich environments. It was the lifeblood of an enormous ecosystem. But in the late 1940s, the Army Corps of Engineers intervened to create dry land so towns and farms could be developed. 1.7 billion gallons of water a day were diverted east into the Atlantic, west into the Gulf of Mexico, and much of the rest trapped in canals. Now, 50% of the Everglades are completely gone.
We accomplished the intended purposes for 50 years ago, but we have essentially dried up a national treasure.
90% of wading birds have vanished. 68 other species of animals are near extinction. Today's plan calls for engineers to tear down 2.4 million acres of levees and canals, to redistribute the water into what's left of the Everglades and try to entice its complex nature to come back, though no one knows exactly how to meet nature's many needs. They hope to discover as they go.
We're going to have to learn how those components fit together as we replumb the system and restore the right water quality and quantity.
The plan would also increase the fresh water for towns and farms. If it passes, the threat's not over. South Florida's population is expected to double in 50 years, and Congress may have to reauthorize the plan each year for 20 years. But there has been a change. Where people once ripped up entire ecosystems without a thought in their rush to build, they're now ready to work with nature and even take instructions from it. Bill Blakemore, ABC News.
As Bill Blakemore points out, the Everglades project has a great deal of support, but it may yet become very controversial. In Florida, there is always a struggle about water rights, as there has been in Maine. The government today destroyed a dam in Maine, and it had been a struggle. ABC's Barry Serafin reports from Augusta, Maine, on the beginning of a new era.
History was made today when the Edwards Dam, which had served Augusta for 162 years, began to come down. It started with a signal from Interior Secretary Bruce Babbitt. Earth was scraped away from a section of the dam that had already been partially removed. Water from the dam's reservoir quickly carved out a channel. It was a sight that local residents had never seen, the Kennebec River running freely. The churning water tore loose old timbers as the gash in the dam grew. It marks the first time that the federal government has ever acted to restore a river by refusing to relicense a hydroelectric dam.
This is the beginning of a new chapter of stewardship of river restoration, and it's a powerful experience.
The dam, 19 feet high and nearly 1,000 feet wide, was built in 1837. It powered a textile mill which once employed more than 1,000 people, but the mill is gone now.
We used this river for industry in the past. The jobs have gone. We can't do that anymore. This is now a river for fish and fisheries.
The dam has been an impassable barrier to sturgeon, salmon, striped bass, and other fish, which now will be able to migrate 17 more miles upriver. Is the removal of the Edwards Dam a precedent? Does it make it more likely that other dams will come down? The hydropower industry says no, but some of the same groups that fought to restore this river hope the answer is yes.
I hope this is used as a model to take the dam removal option seriously at other dams that don't make sense.
The Army Corps of Engineers is studying a proposal to breach 4 large dams on the lower Snake River in Washington state in an effort to save endangered salmon. There is still stiff opposition, but advocates of river restoration say they faced opposition here too before finally freeing the Kennebec. Barry Serafin, ABC News, Augusta, Maine.
In just a moment, we'll shift our focus. How clean is the air inside your car? Challenging the conventional wisdom.
We're gonna change your mind about coloring your gray with the natural look of Just for Men.
You look so natural, no one can tell with Just for Men. No one can tell with Just for Men.
Just for Men penetrates hair deep inside where natural color begins. Simply apply, and in 5 minutes, rinse. Gray is gone. Matched up to the rest of your hair.
You look so natural, no one can tell. With Just for Men.
Out here, I'm in command. So am I supposed to say, slow down, guys, I'm constipated? I don't think so. You try to eat right. Sometimes you can't. Harsh chemical laxatives, they can kick in whenever and wherever. Not an option. So I rely on doctor-recommended Metamucil. It's got 100% natural fiber. Works with my body, gently, which is important to a sensitive guy like myself.
Metamucil, the doctor's natural choice for regularity.
Why do I have Aflac insurance on top of my regular health insurance? Because he has his mother's eyes. Because I still have to teach him to whistle. And because Aflac helps cover what other insurance doesn't. If I'm injured, Aflac even provides cash to help pay bills. So why do I have Aflac? Did I mention he has his mother's eyes? Aflac supplemental insurance. Without it, no insurance is complete.
Get a CD player. Get a power sunroof and a whole lot more. Introducing the Sunfire Sun and Sound Coupe. A hot set of wheels, money left to burn. Lease this Sunfire with CD player, sunroof, and chrome wheel covers for $199 a month. Call for important lease details. Hurry in to your Pontiac dealer today.
Meteorologists at the Space Agency say that the weather phenomenon known as La Nina is nearly gone, at least for now. That pool of unusually cool tropical water in the Pacific looked like this 4 months ago. It's that blue and purple band. And here it is now. Over the past year, La Nina has created cool weather in the Midwest and dry, warm conditions in the South. The experts do caution that La Nina has shrunk before, as we said, only to return. The American Automobile Association says this could be the busiest July 4th travel weekend in more than a decade, which makes for a lot of pollution. The conventional wisdom, of course, is close the car windows, turn on the air conditioning, and move along. Not quite. Here's ABC's John Martin.
It's rush hour in the city where smog was born, Los Angeles. Sandra Butler, a technical recruiter, is making her way home to Long Beach. An hour's drive one way at a time when traffic is heavy and the air is foul.
I'm behind black smoke all the time.
So what do? Well, you roll up your window and you reach over and you turn on the air conditioning with its climate control, which makes you think that you're protected from the dirty air outside. Wrong. Not true. In fact, in this case, the conventional wisdom is just full of hot air.
You think because air is always circulating in the car, I think I'm getting fresh air.
In fact, California's Air Resources Board studied the air in Los Angeles and Sacramento and found it's even dirtier inside the car than outside. Outside, though researchers found plenty of toxic materials, benzene, carbon monoxide, inside they found higher concentrations, depending on the vehicle in front of you and how close it is.
It's about 2 to 10 times more polluted inside a vehicle on a congested freeway or major street.
The key, of course, is how much pollution coming out of the truck or bus or car ahead of you is trapped inside your car. The automakers say they've been concentrating on what comes out the exhaust, not what gets inside. But so much does get in that as people spend more time commuting, they are exposed to more bad air.
Makes me think about all the damage I've done to my lungs just from commuting for 4.5 years.
So, just when Sandra Butler thought the air in her car was safe, it turns out to be pretty dirty, no matter what the conventional wisdom.
See, I did not know that before, now I do.
John Martin, ABC News, Washington.
As the woman said, now you know. When we come back, kids and R-rated movies. Where there is a will, is there also a way?
You're on Love Matters. When Love Matters, I'm here to help. Dave?
Yeah, I'm having this problem with my girlfriend. It's kind of involved.
Diarrhea. Get it, and you want it gone.
You're a really good listener, you know. He needs Imodium AD.
Imodium Advanced.
It's even better.
Only Imodium Advanced relieves diarrhea plus cramps and bloating by combining 2 medicines, and it's even faster than Imodium AD.
So was I right to invite my mom along on my honeymoon?
Oh, Dave, absolutely.
Imodium Advanced. Faster relief you can count on.
Finally, a polished brass finish that holds up under siege. New brilliance for the kitchen. From Delta, it's guaranteed to shine for life. Delta, the faucet.
Mamma mia, cheesioso, molto bene, delizioso. How do they taste? Now Pringles, a pizzalicious.
Chevy Tahoe, like a rock. It's time. Time for your heartburn to kick in because your heartburn relief gave out. It happens 2 or more days a week, even though you've treated it and changed your diet. That frequent, persistent heartburn may be due to acid reflux disease, potentially serious.
It's Prilosec time. Time to see your doctor about prescription Prilosec. Your results may vary, but for many people, Prilosec provides 24 hours of complete heartburn relief with 1 daily dose. Ask your doctor for more information about Prilosec and if it's right for you. The most common side effects are headache, diarrhea, and abdominal pain. 24 hours of complete heartburn relief is possible. It's Prilosec time.
It is now officially the height of the summer movie season, a season that in one important respect was supposed to be different. 3 weeks ago, movie theater owners told President Clinton they would begin checking IDs of kids trying to see R-rated movies. The idea is to keep children under 17 away from all that sex and violence on the screen. We asked our reporter, Aaron Hayes, to check out how it was working.
How old are you anyway?
17.
If you have ID?
Yeah. This theater owners promised would become the norm.
Hi, can I help you?
IDs checked, no kids under 17 allowed in R-rated movies. Easier said than done. We watched some underage teens slip in last night to the opening of the very controversial South Park movie.
All hell breaks loose.
It's an animated satire based on a popular TV show, but the producers made the movie to push the limits.
Well, we did go pretty far beyond the show. Yeah, we went pretty far beyond the show.
And they made it attractive to a lot of kids. The movie's storyline, 8-year-olds sneak into an R-rated film where they learn things we can't repeat here, but they repeat through the entire South Park movie. Some of the raunchiest combinations of swearing and sex references you can imagine. Not for kids. Many theaters enforce that, but we asked 17 underage kids to try to buy tickets to South Park. If asked, they had to tell their age. 3 of the 14-year-olds got right in. No one checked their ID or asked their age.
I went up and asked for a ticket for South Park and they gave me one. I was like, wow, I got in. Because I don't look 17.
Bob Fridley is one theater owner working hard to enforce the ratings. Frustrated, he says, by movie makers, luring teens to rough and raunchy movies, many with popular teen stars.
It's very hard being a theater owner these days and having to exist on the kind of movies we have in the most part.
Like the upcoming American Pie. Its makers call it a teen comedy. They work to get it an R rating.
It's not a space shuttle launch, it's sex.
Because they say today's high school kids are raunchy. And raunch is pushing its way down even into PG-13 movies.
That's better.
Crikey.
The new Austin Powers film, which technically any kid can see, is a sex comedy with a phallic, bathroom, or sex joke on average every 3 minutes. How to stem the flow of raunch to kids? Many are convinced if you can stop the flow of kids, box office receipts will drop, movie makers will get the message. This summer, with its slate of R-rated teen fare, should prove a good test. Aaron Hayes, ABC News, Atlanta.
Well, this will seem a little tame by comparison, but in Scotland today, the Queen and the Scots made history. A Scottish Parliament, the first in nearly 300 years, was opened by Queen Elizabeth. It's an enormous political change for Britain. Scotland now has power over many of its own affairs for the first time since it was united with England in 1707. The British Parliament still controls national affairs. One happy Scotsman, yes, that's James Bond, Sean Connery, called it the best day of his life. In a moment, there's still an election to come, you know.
No, this isn't a jeans commercial. It's about constipation. You're bloated, not yourself. Your size 10s feel like 2s.
FiberCon has natural fiber action to relieve bloating constipation.
I'm myself again.
FiberCon, be regular, be yourself.
Now where did that come from? Whoa! Hey, I've got bugs everywhere!
Boy, you need Ortho Bug Be Gone.
You said it.
It kills virtually all types of harmful outdoor bugs. Guaranteed.
Works on my lawn.
Uh-huh.
On vegetables, too?
Yep, Bug Be Gone does it all. So it's all you need.
Beautiful. That Bug Be Gone really works.
Got bugs? Leave it to Ortho.
Itchy allergic rash? The dermatologist I work for recommends Cordate. It stops the itch and helps heal the rash to restore your skin. There's no brand doctors recommend more. In fact, doctors recommend Cordate more than 4 to 1 over Cortisone 10. Cordate, restore your skin.
Wedding season is here, and isn't it nice to know there's one thing that will never let you down? Thompson's Wood Protector. For rain, sun, mildew, it's the most powerful Thompson's yet. You may now protect the deck. Thompson's Wood Protector. It never takes a day off.
Great meal. Uh-oh, gas pressure. What now? What else? Gas-X, with the most powerful medicine for fast relief. Nothing works faster.
Hey, want to go for ice cream?
Gas-X, the power to fight gas fast.
Tonight, 2 beautiful children, a perfect life, a secret revealed.
Did you plan for a long time how you were going to do it?
The bizarre odyssey of a man and his daughters who simply vanished. Tonight at 10, 9 Central.
Finally this evening, just a brief word about the presidency. There is no more exclusive club. By the end of this century, only 41 members. The American people, as we know, sit in judgment on its every move. Last night we began the broadcast with news that George W. Bush, the governor of Texas, had raised more money to pursue the job than any other man before him. Today we wondered if it didn't go to his head just a little. He was campaigning in California.
This is not my first trip to this incredible land called Silicon Valley. It's my first trip as President of the United States, the soon-to-be President of the United States.
Well, it's funny how the mind works, though no major damage done. Not with $36 million in the bank. That's our report on World News Tonight. Later on Nightline, the breakthrough event for women's sports, the Women's World Cup in soccer. I'm Peter Jennings. Have a good evening. Good night.
Tomorrow, is the bald eagle really out of danger? If the government doesn't protect America's symbol, who will? Watch ABC's World News Tonight with Peter Jennings.
This has been a presentation of ABC News. More Americans get their news from ABC News than from any other source. ABCnews.com now.